Okay, so this is the third, fourth, fifth song for the composition project, and today I've kind of not finished this up, but got it to a point where I want to start mixing properly and doing all that stuff. So I'm just going to go through it very quickly, and there you go. So instruments wise, I have this guitar. Once again, this is the Odin, which is panned left and right. Just gonna do that. Okay. Then the Kraken hybrid bass. Nice. EZdrummer with the Metal Machine expansion. And then Odin, a second layer of Odin, which is a lead kind of sound. And also Omnisphere, this synth, which has gone through some very heavy processing to get it sounding all spacious and weird. So that's that, and for instruments, that's pretty much it. So the song starts off, and in fact, this goes through most of the song. It's very fake sounding. It's very kind of strange. It just doesn't sound real, but it nearly works. So I've kept it in there. In FL Studio, you can use this tool, which is a strum, and what it does is it makes it so that it emulates you basically strumming a guitar. So here, this the note which is further down is further away from the first note, or the beat than the first note, and then here it also alternates direction. Otherwise, it would just be the same all the way through, which would not sound real. So here we've got minor third on A sharp, B flat, and on the and the four. On the and the four here we have it goes down to the major third. Yeah, major third. That took me longer than it should have. And then we go to this minor sixth, back to the minor third, but this time on A. So everything's kind of staying together, but moving around like on an axis type of thing. And then there's just little notes which go up and down, here and there, just to kind of add some variation. Down here we go to here we go to a tritone after an octave on C. Just a bit of tension, and then the release down here on F sharp with a minor third. Another perfect fourth up there, into a major third on C sharp, and then to a perfect fifth on A, and then a tritone on A, and that repeats on most of the song. On that, processing wise on that guitar, it's quite high in the mix actually, but I have this might not actually be doing anything. Oh yeah, so this is an octave pedal. Right, it's just very slightly on, but it's just minuscule kind of on, and it just basically adds a layer up in the top, and then something called LFO tool, which allows you to basically shape the LFO of a sound. So this is without that. And this is with. So this is set to the rate of an eighth note, and also put up smooth here, which prevents clicks, basically. And then for the main amp sim here, once again, Plini, with a very bright kind of signal. And yeah, then a very large amount of reverb on this. There's a processing chain for that. So there's this main kind of riff here, and this is just basically djent, and variations of kind of that genre, and the more kind of darker side of djent with less zeros and ones and more kind of melodic stuff there and eerie stuff and weird stuff, making Thal. And basically I'm contrasting low notes with high notes. And once again we've got a fast bend up and then a fast bend down. And then these kind of these notes up here which are sustaining into the next kind of note, because on a guitar the notes wouldn't just mute, like the notes would sustain if you were to pluck them. And here we have this kind of like slide down. So by the way, to activate key switches, you kind of go lower than the normal register of the guitar, and then that'll activate key switches. And on the plugin, you have all the different articulations. So if you press info here, we can see A sharp 2 is a slide, and then F sharp 2 is a bend up fast, G sharp 2 is bend down fast. I'm not sustaining these notes, although they do sound very robotic. I just don't think that I can get away with sustaining these notes over each other. Yeah, it's just so muddy. So to kind of counter that, you can play around with velocity and timing, just to make things more human, but I didn't do that. Once again, these kind of djenty rhythms, and then up here, minor thirds going from F sharp to F. Just a little bit of contrast. So yeah, for the majority of these tracks, that's kind of the gist. It's just high notes and high articulations and weird rhythmic patterns mixed in with weird kind of knowledge of, I guess, harmonic, but making it sound really dark is what this genre is all about. Making it still harmonic, still really harmonically tense, but also harmonically pleasing, and there's tension and there's a release. It's not just all tritones or whatever. And then we repeat that again, this time with just some slight variations, going up an octave here, switching up where the kind of higher notes are, just to kind of add variation. On the guitar, something really interesting. I'm just gonna... Still dialing in the mixing. Gorgia, or Gorgia, sorry. The amp sim based around Gorgia's kind of tone is I'm using it as an octave pedal. Just because it doesn't sound the same up that high. This plugin naturally only goes down to here. And by using this plugin, I can shift everything down to here. So yeah, Octava pedals, love them. Maybe bass is a little low there, but the same thing that's happening on guitar is happening on bass. I forgot to go through the settings for the amps. Very bright tone. Mic's fully into the center of the speakers, just to get a more kind of bright tone on there. A dynamic 57 and a 184 as well. And over here as well, you have this grind pedal and a overdrive pedal. Oops. It just kind of enhances the high ends a little bit. But as you can see, very, very loud, very trebly. Gain is just all the way up. It's not the best guitar tone, but hey-to. Mixing here with an EQ, boost in 102, 553, I'm removing a bit, 1000 or 1.3k, I guess, 1.4 technically, just boosting, and 4.9k, boosting again. Adding low end in this kind of genre is very important. You want that kind of really gritty, aggressive tone, and without it sounds empty. So yeah, removing mids. Honestly, this is probably going to be really subtle. I don't know if it's even needed, but that's very subtle. And then 1.3k here. Just this kind of presence range. There's a lot of air up here as well on boosting. And then obviously this boost here. Just cutting off, I always do this, cutting off around 9k-ish. Just because all the frequencies past here are useless. So yeah. There you go. Without an EQ. Oh. I'll just do it without any processing. This is without any processing. And then with the Octava, you can hear we lose a lot of brightness when using an Octava, but when you apply the amp sim, it kind of gets covered up. And then with the EQ. There you go. Bass is using quite a large chain actually for bass. Pretty much just a distortion module. Vintage Ultra. Don't know what that means, but you know. Just boosting lots of treble. And with just raw it sounds like this. Then with the dark glass. This next step might be removed, but hey ho. This is a sub, kind of add a add sub bass basically. It's just a layer underneath everything. A layer of sub underneath everything. Then an EQ, boost at 51 Hz, sub bass, boost at 172, boost at 541, boost at 1409. So basically, lots of sub being added, lots of mids being added, and lots of kind of high mids being added. And then this is on. And then finally a compressor with a slowish attack. Just to cut. Is that all the way down? Ignore me. Boom, guitar tones. Drums are following the guitar pretty much all the way through. minus the fact that they emphasize some of the offbeat crashes or some of the offbeat kicks, and also they kind of switch from cymbal to cymbal to cymbal to make things not boring, basically. It's very compressed, but it works for this genre, so hey ho. Drums always sound terrible in solo, so I'm not even gonna. That's pretty much it for this section. Next up is this weird little synth. Basically, it is mallets off of Omnisphere. So that's a raw sound. Then there's Decapitator, which is a saturator. Just, I would say a little bit. Looking at there, it looks like a little bit, but with Punish on that, it's quite a decent amount of saturation. It brings up the dynamics in between. It works like a compressor. Just it also saturates and does harmonic stuff, and yeah. Polini basically is working as a reverb. I've disabled the cab, disabled the amp, disabled the cab, and I'm just using the reverb. It's actually the same preset as what the other guitar use. Some disagree with that and say things get muddy if you use two of the same reverb, but you're probably right. I just can't bother to fix it. Just some cuts going around to kind of get rid of some of the boomy resonating frequencies. I wanted this to work more like a pad and less like an actual synth or like mallet, so also I added Crystallizer, which is one of my favourite granular echo synthesizers. I'm so smart. It's just echo, but it echoes in a weird way. Using this at 100% wet, reversed, pitched up by 1,200 cents, which is just an octave. An eighth of a kind of. It has a delay of eighths. No, it has a delay of 16ths. Don't know what that does. It's gating instead of ducking. Don't know what that does either. But it's doing something. LFO tool once again, just to kind of shape it. Oh yeah. So this little thing, this is one of my favourite plugins. Basically, what it's doing is making things eerie. It sounded too flat, and it was taking up too much room in the mix. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just shove LFO tool on it, which is something I do a lot. Finally, brightness, getting rid of resonating frequencies, getting rid of some presence, and adding some high mids. So yeah. Automation for this build up. Panning left to right. With all of these on. That. And yeah. Let me go into breakdown number 2. But to be honest, this entire song is a breakdown, so reverse snares going on to the snare on 3. Just kind of add some punch to the snare. That bass needs the compressor was doing something, wasn't it? Oh, whatever, I'll fix that, yeah. I also I apologise for the lag, for the glitching and buffering. There was nothing I can do about that. Pattern 7, here we go. It's just the same as before. There's just a lot of articulations going on, lots of bend, lots of scrapes, lots of mutes, lots of palm mutes, all that kind of business. The only thing which is special I would say about this pattern is this down here. This is triple drop C. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, drums are just copying what the guitars are doing pretty much again. There's some hi-hat stuff going on, there's some snare stuff going on, some ghost notes. I cut out this bit for the first part. It just takes up a lot of room in the mix. It's a great little pattern, but it does take up a lot of room. So I've just kind of cut it out for a little bit, so the guitar becomes more clear because these are both guitar patches, and so they're kind of fighting, which is fine. They can do that, but gotta control it. This is really lagging. Here we have a little drum pause. So yeah, and I'm back into the gents. Now this kind of little section is a bit more, I'd even nearly say metalcore kind of inspired. I am lagging, but oh well. Lots of little high bits mixed in with the very low bits. Yeah, back down there we're down to double drop A, which is kind of the standard tuning for this entire song, I guess. 30-second notes on the kicks. I'm not going to humanize this track because one, that would be a pain, and also because I just feel like with something like this, it won't make a difference. No matter how much I try and humanize it, it's always going to sound a bit sketchy, a bit sus. Ew, I just said that. I've humanized all the bits which really need humanizing, like the tom fills and everything like that, but apart from that, no, this is unhumanized. Right, I have been waiting to use these kind of rhythms for so long, but I've never been able to use them because for most songs they're just too much. The lag. Do listen to the audio clip which I've put so you can actually hear these things which are going on, but let's see what I've got open. Can I close any apps? No, I really can't close any apps. Oh my god. It's just because I'm recording at the same time. OBS is taking up all my CPU. So yeah, but these kind of, I'll just try and explain. These very staccato, those kind of rhythms, very bleed inspired. While also being still gent. which arguably Meshuggah or a gent band, but hopefully you get the point. And then we're into this very last little section. And this is just gent. Just full on gent. So yeah. I think that's pretty much it, honestly. I will go over this a little bit. These very high, kind of suspended, not suspended as in the chord type, as in it's kind of suspended there, floating for a little bit. These little arpeggiated rhythms. Very Vildhjarta inspired. There's not much going on here. All of these little bits around here are palm muted. Bass is once again following guitar. Oh, the drums I forgot to mention. Ghosty notes. Lots of ghost notes. I also love this rhythm, this kind of offbeat. So yeah, the hard thing about this was making a transition big enough to sustain the fact that we're going from the most intense bit of the song to the most chill thing. So yeah, that was difficult. But apart from that, we have an outro here with the guitars from the start, and that brings me to the 2 minutes 30, which I'm quite happy with. So yeah, there you go. Song 5 done.